Hey guys, it's Luke from RetroRevival here, and today, as you guys can see, I'm on the white background again, but I am not doing a custom LEGO minifigures video today. Today I'm actually doing a sequel to my most popular video that I've ever released on this channel, and that is, of course, the sequel to the Psp Umd movie collection I did back in early 2018, and that video has got over 12,000 views, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. I absolutely can't believe we've actually reached 12,000 views on that video, so I thought, seeing as it's my most popular video, may as well do a sequel to all of the new ones that I've added to my collection. And I'm not actually going to show any of the ones from the last video in this one, because I thought to save a bit of time, I'll just show you the new ones and go into detail on them a little bit more. But once again guys, thank you so much for getting that video as popular as it is. And of course, here is the PSP that you play the UMD movies on. UMD stands for Universal Media Disc, and this is absolutely covered in dust. As you can see, I haven't played it in a while. But anyway, without further ado, let's get straight into the movies. So first up, I've got a couple of horror movies, and the first one I've got here is Silence of the Lambs, and this is an absolutely superb movie. If you haven't seen this, watch it immediately. It is just an absolute classic. Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster are just absolutely superb in this. This won like every single Oscar the year it came out. I know it came out in the 90s, it might be 91 or 93, I'm not too sure, but this is just a fantastic piece of cinema, great acting, and if you haven't seen it, I suggest watching it immediately. Next up is another horror classic, a bit different, but it's The Exorcist. Directed by William Friedkin, this actually came out in the 70s, I'd say the golden age of horror. The 70s and 80s were just fantastic for horror, and this is a fantastic movie also. Honestly, one of the scariest movies I've ever watched. It takes a little bit of time to get into it, about an hour, but after that it is just crazy, but also amazing. It's an absolute horror classic, and again, if you haven't seen this, just watch it. Then next up, we've actually got a duo of movies, and these are kind of horror movies, I guess, and these are Alien and Aliens. Now, this always goes back and forth in my mind which one I prefer, and I'd say overall I think Alien is better. Alien came out in the late 70s and Aliens came out in the 80s, and you can definitely tell this in the tones of the movies. Alien is more of a sci-fi horror, whereas Aliens is more of like a sci-fi action movie. And these are both awesome with great moments in each. I mean, the chestburster scene in Alien is just one of my favourite scenes in cinema, but also the Alien Queen puppetry in Aliens is just superb as well. These are both fantastic movies, and Aliens is actually one of the more expensive UMD movies if you were to buy them nowadays. It's around a $5, so it's not like really expensive, but for the UMDs it is pretty expensive. But these are another couple of movies I suggest watching. Any of the movies after this point in the Alien franchise, I just say skip them, just don't watch them and just watch these two. Next up is another one of my favourite movies, made by Richard Donner and Steven Spielberg. This is The Goonies. Now, this is a fantastic movie starring a great cast of kids who just work so well together as like a unit. And it's about them looking for some buried treasure. It's got some familiar faces in there, like Sean Astin, who plays Sam in the Lord of the Rings franchise, and also a young Josh Brolin, who plays Thanos. So overall, this is a great cast, and if you guys haven't seen it, it's just so much fun. Next up is not a great movie, really, but it's Spider-Man 3. There's like this weird sandy, like, type substance on the actual case, which is a little bit gross, and I don't really want to touch that part. But in the last video I showed you that I had Spider-Man 1 and 2, and I've now got this one, and I've got to be honest, I do actually like this movie. In fact, I'd go so far to say I love this movie, but it's more just nostalgia, it's not actually a good film. It's still better than Venom, I'd say, and of course the two Amazing Spider-Man movies. This is better than them two as well, but I had to get this one to complete the franchise. But I do think this film is a lot of fun, but it's not good. And next up, guys, is another Marvel movie, and this one is bad. It's really bad. This is Ghost Rider, starring Nicolas Cage himself. This is an awful movie. Do not watch this. I only got this because I got it for 99p on eBay. Please don't subject yourself to this awful piece of shit. If you want some good Ghost Rider media, go and read the comic books, or just wait for them to do something with him in the MCU. Because at least you know that's going to be of some quality. This is just trash. Don't watch it. Anyway, the next movie is a little bit better, and it actually links to the last video again, and this is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I'm gonna be honest, not one of my favourites in the franchise, but I thought I'd get this one just because I already have Goblet of Fire and the Half-Blood Prince. And I'd say this is the first one that really goes dark with it, because it dabbled a little bit in Goblet of Fire, but I think this is the first one that goes really dark. I'd say it's kind of like middle of the pack for Harry Potter films, maybe in the lower half. I'd just say there's not loads that goes on in it. It's not like a really important one. I mean, it's got a few big things, but it's not like a very exciting movie. I don't know, maybe some crazy Harry Potter fans are going to come and like kill me or something. But still, it's an alright movie, definitely better than the piece of crap that is Ghost Rider I just showed you. Next up is a absolutely hilarious movie. It's an animated movie, and this is South Park Bigger, Longer and Uncut. This is absolutely fantastic, and in my eyes, this is the best part of South Park media, and I'd love for them to make another South Park movie. This is absolutely hilarious. It's actually a musical with some great musical numbers, and I'm pretty sure it actually broke the world record for the most swear words in a movie. So if this is up your street, then have a watch, because it is absolutely awesome. Next up, I've actually got a couple of Family Guy UMDs, and this first one is Family Guy Presents Stewie Griffin, The Untold Story. I've watched this once, and it's okay. I'm probably never going to watch it again. It's got some funny moments, but I wouldn't actually suggest this one to anyone for them to actually go out of their way to watch it. It's okay, and it's actually the first UMD that I've ever seen where in the menus it actually gives you a warning before you watch it, which is a little bit weird, but kind of interesting. Anyway, the next part of South Park media is the complete first series, and this box is kind of battered. It comes in a 3-pack like this, and I think it's either 1 or 2 discs in each case. And I do like Family Guy. I think it's kind of declined in its quality in the last few years, but these classic episodes are brilliant. And I think you can also get Season 2, and then maybe you can get Family Guy Season 3 on UMD, but for the time being I've only got the first season. So next up is a movie that's kind of like a guilty pleasure of mine. It came out in 2008, and this is Step Brothers. And I've got to be honest, me and my brother quote this movie all the time. It's got some brilliant quotes. It's not a fantastic movie, but I think it's fun. Of course it's not won any awards, but I just think it's really funny, and I think it's one of those movies that you can just put on and just enjoy. And finally is a stop-motion animation movie, which I quite like, and this is The Corpse Bride. And I've actually got the Nightmare Before Christmas UMD, and I don't think this movie is as good as that one. I still think the animation is very impressive, and of course it's made by the absolute master that is Tim Burton. He kind of makes like these kid horror movies. I mean, they're not scary, but they've got kind of like a spooky undertone. And this one's a lot of fun, and if you're bored, yeah, I suggest putting this one on. I mean, there are other movies I'd suggest watching before this one, but it's not bad. So guys, here are all the movies and the UMDs I've shown you this episode, and as I've already said, there's loads of others in my other video, and I've got to thank you guys for that. I mean, my energy is kind of like pretty low in the other video. It's because I made that over 2 years ago, and I think I've got better at making videos, and I've got to be honest, some of my opinions in that video are actually kind of not great. Like, for instance, I said Dumb and Dumber was an excellent movie, and now that I'm way more into movies, I mean, I can tell that of course it isn't. But I believe I've got a lot more of a critical mind now when I'm watching movies, even though I do still love Spider-Man 3. But you never know, I might do another one of these videos, maybe a year down the line, if I get any more UMD movies. And the final thing I want to say is a big thank you for getting that first video up to as many views as it has. It's just past 12,000 views at the time of me recording this, so you never know, it might be at 13,000, maybe in a month, I'm not sure. But seriously guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I have been Luke from RetroRevival. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye.